catastrophe to have the last word. Catastrophe to have the last word.
is Erika Mercado. I'm the state organizing lead for California, and I'm a volunteer. Today we joined together to bring our national mobilization to the next level. I personally want to thank you for watching and participating. We hope that today's event will help you grow your local efforts for grassroots people-powered campaign, for a new political party, and for a better and brighter future for us all. I hope you enjoy the musical performances coming up.
Hello, my name is Roger Harvey, and I'm honored to be here today in support of progress. We're living in unprecedented times, and those call for unprecedented songs. I wrote this song on January 7th, 2021, and I've been processing ever since. It's a crazy old world we're all living in. Done my best to not get caught in the spin, but lately I've been talking to some internet friends, and it turns out I was confused. 'Cause the truth is out there if you join the right groups. The truest truths are the ones that work for you, and if it makes you uncomfortable, it's probably a myth. Besides, that's so much easier than dealing with it. Now that I'm sure, I bought some stickers to prove, and I put them on my bumper. I ain't nobody's fool, and I drive around town hoping my message gets through, so everyone knows I'm not weak. Have you considered maybe you've been fooled by the people you swore were telling the truth? Even though they've never done nothing for you, what a weird hill to die on. Like my music without the politics. Can't do nothing these days without being reminded that there's a world we all gotta live in. Don't just revolve around me and my friends. They say people of all kinds deserve equal rights, but the people I know are 99% white, and the latter the exception to every rule. Was made to memorize when I was going to school. Now they're putting out a call up on Capitol Hill. Was given a ticket before the seats got filled. I can't even recall what I came to fulfill, maybe manifest destiny. Have you considered maybe you've been fooled by the people you swore were telling the truth? Even though they've never done nothing for you, what a weird hill to die on. This is the best part, or worst. When we arrived, it was a chaotic scene. Just trying to hang Mike Pence peacefully. Watched everything sacred become nothing but a rag. My Blue Lives Matter hat and this American flag, and now I'm sitting alone inside a federal cell. They said I'd get into heaven, but I might be going to hell. And if I was wrong, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But they won't even let a president tweet. And one last request, if it ain't too much trouble, go to my house and bring along a big shovel. Round up my computer and all my devices, help me bury them in the yard. Have you considered maybe you've been fooled by the people you swore were telling the truth? Even though they've never done nothing for you, what a weird hill to die on. Have you considered maybe you've been fooled by the people you swore were telling the truth? Even though they've never done nothing for you, what a weird hill to die on. Yeah. Unfortunately, our world needs songs like that. So, yeah, like I mentioned, my name is Roger Harvey, and I'm tuning in here from Nashville, Tennessee to play some songs and open this up. I love folk music. I love the radical nature of traditional folk music, and I love revisiting those songs. In one way, it's heartbreaking that we still gotta sing them, and in another way, it's so powerful to remember that we've been in this struggle for this long, and we have all these powerful songs that can unite us all. This is one of my favorite old songs that still resonates today. It's a Woody Guthrie song called Deportee, and I'll leave you with this. Crops are all in, the peaches are rotten, the oranges are piled in the creosote dumps. They're flying them back to the Mexican border to spend all their money to wade back again. My father's own father, he waded that river, took all the money he made in his life. My brothers and sisters got lost in the fruit trees. They rode on those trucks till they took down and died. Goodbye to Juan, bye-bye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. Some of us are illegal, some are not wanted. Your work contract's out, so you have to move on. 600 miles from that Mexican border, they bust us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. We died in your hills, we died in your deserts, we died in your valleys, out on your plains. We died beneath your trees, we died in your factories, both sides of the river. We died just the same. Goodbye to Juan, bye-bye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. The sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon, a fireball of lightning that shook all the hills. Who are these friends, all scattered like dry leaves? A wall of TVs says they're just deportees. Is this the best way grow our big orchards? Is this the best way to grow our good fruit? To fall like dry leaves and rot in the factories, be called by no name except deportee. Goodbye to Juan, bye-bye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee.
Greetings. My name is Core Element, and I'm here to share a couple of songs that I feel encapsulate the campaign of Dr. Cornell West. Everybody said enough, you know, how intelligent he is, how passionate. We know. So I'm going to let the music speak for itself. This first piece is called Step in the Light. And I like to start this one by asking everybody to breathe together. So together, we're going to take some deep, kind of long breaths. All right, so let's go. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. With everything that's going on, all I can say is, Lord, help us. We beg forgiveness. Give us a sign that you still walk with us. We wander in the darkness, forgot what's right. Please help us step in the light. So many of us drifted from the path and we lost, not attuned to the source of what some call a force. It's like people are strange. They live in these dreams where they have these beliefs but don't live what they mean. I feel alone like an angel that fell. There's gotta be a heaven because I'm living in hell. All I see is pain, anger, addiction, like demons control us from other dimensions, hiding in the shadows. Got us believing that we human doings, not human beings. What am I doing drinking? This me begging for help, cause it's polluting and diluting my connection to self. Just when I was on the brink of losing my sanity, a woman, maybe an angel, came and laid her hands on me and said, forgive him, Lord, for he know not what he do. Just help him remember so we know in the truth that we all make the world what it is. Pick your perspective and that's what it is. Choose love. You don't have to fight. The shadows disappear once you step in the light. Step in the light. Step in the light. The shadows disappear once you step in the light. So go ahead, free your demons. Start living in light. So we could all see the future of the world turn bright. To be real, I always knew something was missing from life. I grew up sedated, elated by seductive advice on living my life. But that advice was trite because it wasn't centered around the teachings of Christ. And consciousness, what kind of mind is this to have faith that I can know what blind love is? That angel told me something in my heart I would stash. Forgiveness is letting go of hope for a different past. I shed tears, releasing all I don't need, then opened my eyes, and for once I could see I was in a state of bliss where ain't nobody could touch. Never before in my life had I felt so much freedom from not loving myself. I dropped to my knees and joyfully wept. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive what I do. And thank you for this blessing, letting me know the truth that we all make the world what it is. Pick your perspective, and that's what it is. Choose love. You don't have to fight. The shadows disappear once you step in the light. Step in the light. Step in the light. The shadows disappear once you step in the light. So go ahead, free your demons. Start living in light so we could all see the future of the world turn bright. So much to say. Not enough time. But words can't truly describe the divine. And if I was to tell you, it wouldn't make sense. So I can only hope to offer this glimpse. Imagine pleasure coming overwhelming with force, filling you with so much love it's like it come out your pores, filling up your spirit where your soul starts to soar, elated by the presence of pure light from the source. You know that it's right. Don't focus on distractions, only focus on light. Since the beginning, I've been living like the ending is coming, but believing in love is better than believing in nothing. I got my hand up, reaching for the divine, fully believing this prayer gets answered this time. We only human beings, but we battle this beast. We've had enough war. Can we please have peace? Let me say it again. Can we please have peace? Come on, say it with me. Can we please have peace? Black, white, Asian, Christian, Muslim, and Jew. Forget who did what and what got done to who, cause you all make the world what it is. Pick your perspective and that's what it is. Choose love. You don't have to fight. The shadows disappear once you step in the light. Step in the light. Step in the light. The shadows disappear once you step in the light. So go ahead, free your demons. Start living in light so we could all see the future of the world turn bright. Ashe. And before I do this next piece, I want to share that I believe that there's a space in between these calling for war and these calling for standing with Israel and standing with the Palestinians. I believe in between there's a small space where you can stand with peace. And that is what this next song is called, Stand With Peace. Yeah, man. So I'm a Black Jew. And like most Jews around the world, this is where I stand. I stand with peace. It's time for all this violence to end. I stand with peace. There's only one message to send. We want peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. Violence in all forms opens the door to more fear, hatred, resentment, conflict, and war. The people saying stop, but the leaders want more. Though we sick of all the bloodshed, bomb drop. Or what if there's a future written, we're all in the past forgiven, and we living in a world we make it safe for all children, free from violence? No, we choose silence, we lose. To be clear, the Israeli government don't speak for all Jews. I stand with peace. It's time for all this violence to end. I stand with peace. There's only one message to send. We want peace. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? I got the savior complex, cause the world need be saved. If we ain't here to hear the word, then why the hell are we made? Just to watch me-made drama unfold every other hour, from enacting out of unresolved childhood trauma. In the Middle East, we battle a beast just as old as man, yo. Children that ain't grown up but got weapons in their hands. So how about we raise these kids right from the start, with health and body, peace in the spirit, and love in the heart. I stand with peace. It's time for all this violence to end. I stand with peace. There's only one message to send. We want peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Do not be confused about Jews and our views. There are only two paths to choose, war and peace. But only one makes violence cease, and that's when each of us chooses peace. Divine Creator, please make me an instrument of your peace, so that I may resonate at your frequency of Shalom. I stand with peace. It's time for all this violence to end. I stand with peace. There's only one message to send. We want peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. Before you pick a side, keep this in mind. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. Twice God used the Jew to raise mankind, so if all Jews unite in peace, we could do it a third time. Like a force that can't be reckoned with, let's try it for the heck of it and check it, working towards peace, not anti-Semitic. At this, you want to quote the Bible, Isaiah 2:4. Nations shall learn war no more. Well, they say this time is different. Maybe it is, cause it's really about oil, land, and politics, but that ain't different. So why is this even relevant? Cause gotta be about love, which is the core element of peace. It's time for all this violence to end. I stand with peace. There's only one message to send. We want peace. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? I stand with peace. It's time for all this violence to end. I stand with peace. There's only one message to send. We want peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? Peace. What do we want? If not now, then when? If not us, then who? It's up to us to be the generation to make a stand and demand ceasefire. And I just want to end this with one Bible quote. It's Isaiah 1:16. Wash yourselves, make yourselves clean. Put away the evil of your doing from before my eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke the oppressor, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Dr. Cornell West for President 2024.
Well, you know, I'm a student.
You can't just look at two parties.
My generation, we are fed up.
You got to see how both of them are tied to Wall Street. Both of them tied to greed.
I'm not having our voices heard. You know,
Because we love the people.
we're tired of having to choose between lesser evil.
Imagine what would happen if we had the $100 and something billion.
Seeing the police crack down on free speech. We're fed up.
Joe Biden just set to fuel genocide in Gaza.
We can have the future we want.
I was inspired by Dr. West. I was inspired by a visionary plan
We have to build it together.
to build what we can have when we make different choices.
We need a message to rally behind. I see Dr. West and Dr. Abdullah as truth, justice, and love, and the way forward for the future that I think my generation desperately needs.
And we are running together for truth, justice, and love.
This is Let Freedom Ring. There's a man, homeless and hungry. There's a wind, it's hard and biting. There's a song in need of singing. There's a fuse in need of lighting. And it's no secret, the day is coming. And it's a day I hope to see. But if they ask you, brother, who told you that, you didn't hear it from me. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. There's a book with 7 seals. There's a beast with 7 heads. 7 angels on 7 horses. 7 vials with 7 plagues. So if you hear a knocking on that door, just let it be. But if they ask you, brother, who told you that, you didn't hear it from me. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Where the righteous stood, where the righteous fell. There's a voice, it's soft and whispering, it's coming from the bottom of the well. And I tried hard to remember what that voice said, over and over, over and over. I repeated those words inside my head. Let freedom ring, 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 let freedom ring. And if they ask you, brother, who told you that, tell them it was me.
Peace and blessings, everybody. My name is Anis, and I'm a Palestinian poet, an activist, and an independent artist from Washington, D.C., and I'm thankful to be tuned in with you today. I'm so grateful that you exist, you, the believer in truth, equality, justice, liberation, decolonization, dismantlement of systems of oppression and occupation. I am grateful that you exist and that humanity resides inside of your heart where we hold it. I am thankful that we are all here, us whose values and virtues lead us to a candidate like Dr. Cornell West, someone who inspires us in his fire for justice, in his passion for teaching generations, and in his words of beauty and truth. Words hold power. Words hold immense power, and I've always been inspired by poetry. And so for that reason, I wrote a poem that I'd like to shout you here. It's called, I Don't Feel Safe as a Palestinian. I don't feel safe as a Palestinian. Would you? Now that you know of all the terror and the trauma we're put through, now that you've seen the dead babies and the families under rubble, even in the comfort of our home and in the safety of our bubbles, I don't feel safe as a Palestinian. I never have. Ever since I was a kid, I felt a target on my back. All my classmates got to celebrate the land of their ancestors, but I saw the way the hatred and the racism would fester any time I had the nerve to get excited or express how I am blessed to be Palestinian. So I learned to repress. I don't feel safe as a Palestinian. Not even here. In America, where I'm supposed to live without a fear, but a 6-year-old Palestinian was stabbed to death and 3 college students were shot for this scarf around my neck. How dare we dare to exist? If our existence is a threat, then I don't feel safe as a Palestinian. I think a lot of us don't feel safe right now. I think feelings of unsafety and insecurity and where we stand in our society have been a feeling we can all bond on. And especially in a time like this where there's so much division and there's so much evil happening throughout the world, in many of our homelands and here in America, it's so important that we seek leadership that we actually align with as human beings. That's why I'm drawn to Dr. Cornel West. That's why I can't support Joe Biden. I can't support Donald Trump or any of these corporately lobby-owned candidates who don't serve anything but corporate interest. I believe in candidates who believe in humanity, right? Candidates who are just like you and I, devastated about what's happening in Palestine, in Congo, in Sudan, all throughout the world, here in America, in impoverished and marginalized communities. There are candidates who truly believe in justice and equality, and there are candidates who speak about it. Dr. Cornel West is about what he speaks about, and that's why I align with him. It's that simple. That's why I'm confident, and that's why I feel comfortable being here today, encouraging you to organize and volunteer for Dr. Cornel West's campaign for president in 2024. That's why I do this. I think we can't just say that we don't want to vote when there are candidates who we can vote for proudly. There are candidates who we can tick their name off the ballot in November and walk away feeling like we voted for somebody that we really align with. That's why I'm here. So I hope for a world where we can feel safe, where their homelands can be safe, where there's a liberated Palestine, liberated Congo and Sudan, where there's liberated people in every pocket, in every corner of this world, and where there's liberation here in America. And it starts with putting people that we truly believe in, rallying around people who truly have our best interest in mind in positions of power and leadership. Dr. Cornell West could not be more worthy of that. That's why I encourage you to support, organize, and volunteer for Dr. Cornell West for president in 2024. Peace and blessings, liberty and equality for all.
To make sure that our voices are heard. A lot of times we don't know who to vote for, like who really has, our best interests at mind. The election's gonna go on whether we vote or not, so why not put somebody that's for the people, that's for our voices, into office?
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way.
One step in the million steps that we have to take, but it gets us a little bit closer. So I'm here volunteering, I'm here spreading the word, sign up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our campaign manager, Kiana Gang.
Hello, and hopefully the day has met you all with light. I want to begin with a list of thanks to the West Abdullah core team who show up every day, ready to work together to push this movement forward. Thank you to the Love Warriors, the Web Warriors, the Freedom Funders, and Revolution Love volunteers that are truly the lifeblood of this campaign. Thank you to everyone who is attending because you are ready for change and you remain curious enough to find yourself here today. Thank you. And lastly and humbly, thank you to Dr. Cornell West and Dr. Melina Abdullah for trusting me to help steward such a transformative vision. When I was young, I learned about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad and Sojourner Truth and her declaration in the form of a question. I learned about Claudette Colvin, who precedes Rosa Parks in refusing to give up her seat on the bus and who's still alive today. Through all of these lessons, the reoccurring question that was rising from the pit of my stomach was, do you have that kind of courage? I questioned, how do you get that kind of courage? Nowadays, the reoccurring questions that rise from the pit of my stomach are, how do I honor Dr. West and Dr. Melina and their work? How do I honor the commitment of our team? And how do I honor the trust of the communities we work to uplift and seek justice for? Those questions, that sense of responsibility, is what drives me forward in leading our three missions. The first is the movement, which is a continuation and a representation of the activism and the efforts of both Dr. West and Dr. Abdullah. The second is this moment in the movement, the campaign, which looks to bring truth, justice, and love to federal policy. And then the third, that's the lasting legacy, the Justice for All Party. This is our way of continuing the fight for the poor and working class people long after 2024. making a way for basic human rights to be extended to everyone in the nation is the core of each of these. But we cannot dismantle the empire alone. For that, we need you and your measure of courage. For me, that is really the most beautiful part of this difficult and often heartbreaking journey. The affirmation of the fact that we need each other and how much power and liberation lives in acknowledging that and believing that. The West Abdullah campaign is a people-powered grassroots campaign. And today, we either invite, if this is your first time, or re-invite you into the movement. There is a place for everyone fighting for basic human rights. In fact, so often when you send us questions or suggestions, we respond asking for your support to build the way forward. As much as this campaign is grounded in the work of Dr. West and Dr. Abdullah to place truth and justice and love center stage, it is about helping all of us benefit from the possibilities that are only present when we prioritize our common humanity. All of that to say, this is your campaign too. Watching more and more people wake up to that awareness that this is their campaign too is the hope that our team thrives on. But probably no one more than our National Director of Organizing, Alex Coronado, who has helped to build and lovingly nurture our volunteer program. Here are a few words from Alex.
Thank you, Kiana. Every single day, I am inspired not just by your courage, but by the courage that you share with others. And selfishly, most importantly to me, the courage that you share with me. In this brief, critical moment in our movement, it's my honor to lead the organizing department in this campaign. But when you take the larger context into account, it is merely my turn to fill these shoes and to help steward this movement. And there's something really comforting knowing that I'm not the only one who has ever worn these shoes, right? And what's even more comforting to me is all the beautiful people, all you beautiful people here today to help steward this movement and wear those shoes as well. Now, maybe the imagery of sharing these shoes is starting to sound a little messy, right? Well, that's because it is. It is messy. But we have an environment here where we feel safe to share our measures of courage with one another, where we feel safe to say, hey, friend, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how we're going to do this, but let's figure it out together. Like when we needed a North Star for how we were going to organize, just generally, we looked to the love warriors that Dr. West came before so that we could strive to join them in the traditions of courage and of sacrifice and love. With 17,000 people raising their hands across the country to be love warriors, you can bet some challenges arise. After all, we are starting a party, running a campaign, stewarding a movement. And the way through these challenges is with the love and the innovation of each person bringing their individuality, their traditions, and experience to the table. Like when Marsha started the first signature challenge, and now we have one for every single state. Or late nights talking up with August about how we were going to get hundreds of people in a matter of days to wear these shoes, right? And what came of that? A success that Tracy and Paris they trusted, they took notes, and they organized and did it themselves. When Janie said, hey, Alex, I think we need a kick in the pants right now, I drove to Detroit and we had a little party, petitioning, gathering signatures out at the market with Elle and a bunch more others that came too. And whenever the terrain looks rugged, importantly, when our spirits need nourishment, we get together and we remind each other of the beauty that is made by our measures of courage and sacrifice. Because these shoes might have a lot of miles on them,
but we do make sure that we fix them up before sending them along. Before we give them to the next person, just a little tinkering here and there. So at the end of the day, me, you, we're going to need something to wear while we're walking through the mud, through the rain, or while we're working 6 days on our feet and then petitioning on the 7th. You're going to need something to remind you that your measure of sacrifice is connected to others and connected to the through line of history and what we are doing right now in the name of our own. And that is what you all do for me every day. You share with me your measure of courage, and God only knows what I and we would be without it. So if you're hearing this, let this be the call to you to take a turn in those shoes. Right now, go to cornellwest2024.com/volunteer to get information on how to join our weekly Love Warrior community call. And by June 1st, we are going to make it easier for anyone and everyone to connect directly to organizers in your state. And now, please welcome our North Star, a man whose love, whose courage and sacrifice brings us all here today and inspires us to see our own love and measures of virtue as wrenches in the gears. Dr. Cornell West.
I am here in Edinburgh, Scotland, with my dear brother Frederick Douglass, which means that the struggle is international, it's global, and it's local. And in your locale, we want you to become part of a mobilization. We need volunteers to make sure we get out the vote. We want ballot access. We want to shake up the world. We want to change the world, and we're going to do that together. In the face of catastrophe, let us march together, let us fight together, let us laugh together, let us dance together, let us smile together, let us cry together. We will not allow the organized greed to have the last word. Love supreme or love supreme.
Takes tremendous discipline, takes tremendous courage to think for yourself, to examine yourself. That Socratic imperative of examining yourself requires courage. You know, William Butler Yeats used to say, it takes more courage to examine the dark corners of your own soul than it does for a soldier to fight on the battlefield. Courage to think critically. Courage is the enabling virtue for any philosopher, for any human being, I think, in the end.
People to carry out nonviolent civil disobedience. A couple of dozen people linked arms and were arrested.
Princeton University professor Cornell West was one of 19 people arrested on the steps of the U.S. Supreme Court during a protest against money in politics.
You're joking! Are you denying us access to a public building?
And we here because we want to keep the family center stage. Whiteness can't be reduced to white supremacy. You got a whole lot of white brothers and sisters fighting against white supremacy. We got a choice between neo-fascists like Brother Trump or milquetoast neoliberals like Brother Biden. Wow, well, I'm so happy to make a world-shaking decision. You know what I mean?
You almost agreed with me.
No, not at all.
See, your solar plexus winds towards my direction.
No,
I got it wrong.
All right.
You got to come back more often. We miss you.
Democrats feeding the Republicans, Republicans feeding the Democrats, and yet poor people, working people, finding themselves pushed to the margins. I believe a Palestinian baby has the same value as an Israeli baby. We have to have people who are in solidarity, who get beyond their petty differences and be able to hold hands symbolically and literally and fight by straightening your backs up.
How you guys doing? Good. What's up, Love Warriors?
Here we are on Lenape-Hoking between the Wingo-Hocking Creek and the Wissahickon Creek, and we are ready to support Brother Cornel West, Dr. Abdullah, 2024 We're getting on the ballot. That's our main task right now. We got our signatures building.
Hey. Awesome. We love it. We love it, guys. We love it. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna switch over. Go. We're gonna switch over here to Washington. How you guys doing, Laura? Hey Laura, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. What did I do? Took us off of from Tacoma, Washington, here at Common Good. Sending truth, justice, and love, and deep, deep gratitude for Brother West, Dr. Abdullah, and just everybody contributing to this movement. Thank you so much. Truth, justice, love.
We love it. We love it. Bernie's, we're gonna come to you guys. Thank you guys so much, Washington. Thank you, Laura. Gotta apologize for the echo over here.
Okay, I'm gonna mute us. Thank you.
Bernie's, how you doing, Bernie's?
Today, everybody who's volunteering for this campaign, and we are here to fight for truth, justice, and love. If you're watching from a watch party, your hosts have this is our good brother Kingsley right here. Your hosts have your calls to action for petitioning to get us on the ballot state to state. So thank you very much for joining. And we're about to welcome Dr. Molina in just a few minutes.
lyrically expressed but doesn't allow the catastrophe to have the last word. Still got that hope in you, but you don't talk about the hope. You enact the hope, and it's in your music. That is the blues. It's the narrative of a catastrophe, lyrically expressed but doesn't allow the catastrophe to have the last word. Lyrically expressed but doesn't allow the catastrophe to have the last word.
Get up, so now that's my. So just start talking.
There you
just
go.
start talking.
Hey,
Hey, I'm not gonna look at the camera because there's people here. What a beautiful gathering! What a beautiful gathering! Forgive my exhaustion. It's also my child's prom day, so I've been busy for the last 2 weeks trying to get the house together, get her together. I don't know if y'all know, but like in LA, they do this weird thing called a champagne party. Like when I went to prom, your date picked you up, you went to dinner, maybe, and then you went to prom and there was a picture man, and that was it. And now there's like send-offs, and you got to have a clean house and apple cider, and so that's my exhaustion, right? In addition to the campaign and everything else, and a court case against LAPD. If you don't know, we're in the middle of suing the Los Angeles Police Department. A week into the trial, and thank you so much to everybody who's been out at the courthouse. We know how the state, this criminal legal system works to really double down on violent repression, trying to silence organizers. And that's what this lawsuit is about, saying that you will not silence us. And if you target one of us, if you come for one of us, you come for all of us.
Yeah.
And so many of you in this room can attest to the fact that every single day of court has been packed. And some people don't like it. People told me to stop saying that the judge doesn't like it. So I didn't just say that the judge doesn't like it. I didn't just say that the judge admonished the public and said, stay away from my jury. I didn't just say that because they told me not to say that. But look, the people are powerful. In fact, my judge says that. All power, all power to the people, all power to the people. So what this case is about is remembering that people power changes things. People power changes things. And all of us are invested in deep, deep change in this country and in this world. We live in a world that, is tethered itself to violent capitalism, to violent white supremacy, to violent patriarchy, and the interlocking systems that harm working class people, that harm people of color, that harm women, that harm queer and trans folks, right? We live in a world that is tethered to that. But we also know that there's something more. We also know in the still of the night and in the early hours of the morning when you can hear the birds singing, and there are still birds singing, and the Palestinian folks who are with us know what that means. There are still birds singing. I heard them this morning, right? That we know we can have more. We know that we don't have to choose between a genocide and a Muslim ban. We know that we don't have to continue to spend 62 cents out of every dollar on military. We know that cities don't have to continue to spend half of their general funds on violent policing that is really military at home. We know that we can stop these cop cities, 70 of them, which are popping up all over the country, and Stop Cop City in Atlanta is leading the charge to stop them. We know that we can have a world of abundance where everybody has all of what they need and most of what they want. Now, what does that mean? I'm not a philosopher like Dr. West. I'm honored. I'm so honored. It's one of the greatest honors of my life to have been asked to be his running mate, right? I'm not a philosopher like him, but I'm inspired by his vision. I'm inspired by what he's putting forth. I'm inspired by what we're doing by presenting an alternative, right? And so what we know is we can invest in people. What if we had a $27 an hour federal minimum wage? I see Gina in the room, and I'm saying, Gina, don't fret off of what happened at the California level. We know those politicians are bought off, right? But we can have more than health care for all. We can have health care justice for all, right? Where we recognize systems of medical apartheid and dismantle them, where we say healthcare means mental health resources. Healthcare means preventative resources. Healthcare means everybody gets, dental shouldn't be something extra. Vision shouldn't be something extra. We can't have people walking around and if they could see if they had glasses, but they can't afford them, right? And so this is what we're offering. We're offering educational systems. If you look at what's happening here in Los Angeles, right, they're trying to roll back the wins that we won in 2020 by removing police from campuses. We won that. Our children won that, right? In 2020, removing police from LAUSD campuses. And now they think that, you know, because people are back at work and back at school in person and can't be in the streets by the tens and hundreds of thousands, that they can sneak stuff back in, like police on campus, which removes nurses from campus, which removes mental health resources and counselors from campus, which challenges real liberatory models of ethnic studies on campus. We're saying, nah. We believe in liberatory ethnic studies. We believe that power belongs with the students and with the parents and with the communities. And we can have all of those things. And that's what this campaign represents. This campaign is also a challenge to this false system of democracy that we've been told is the system of democracy. Two choices, which are false choices, are not choices at all, right? They're a ruse, right? The idea that you can only vote for, they say don't say his name, but I believe in calling out evil. They say you can only vote for Donald Trump, who is the devil incarnate, right? Yeah. Or Genocide Joe, who is literally funding the murder, the slaughter of people, of babies, of children, of mamas, who is literally fueling the starvation of an entire nation. Shame. Well, I cannot, in good conscience, you know, we're on the eve of Malcolm X Day, right? You know, and Minister Malcolm said the ballot or the bullet, right? I cannot, in good conscience, cast my ballot for the devil or the funder of the devil, right? I can't. And you shouldn't either, right? Democracy means you get to vote for something. You get to vote for someone. This campaign is the people's campaign. This is your campaign. We ask you to vote for us. Vote for the people. Dr. West and my name are on the ballot, but this is for all of us. This is for all of us in this room. This is for all of us watching online. This is for all of us in cities all around the country. This is for all of us who are not watching. This is for our babies. This is for future generations. We're saying we are at a crossroads right now. Either we let this world go to hell, which is where, you know, those two devils are trying to lead it, or we say no. We say no, we have a different vision. And so in my faith, we say that we must fight. We're bound to fight. My faith says you fight with your body, you fight with your fist. That is the most blessed way to fight. And then when you can't fight with your body, you can't fight with your fist, you fight with your voice, right? And then when you can't fight with your voice, you fight with your spirit, you fight with your prayer, you fight in your heart. We will not allow them to take this world from us. We will fight for the world that we want, need, and deserve. That's what this campaign is. This is, I also said when I stopped by a couple, was that last week? Week before last. Yeah. So week before last, we were talking and I said, you know, let's talk about this as a guerrilla campaign, right? A guerrilla campaign, right? And I'm thinking of the words of a dear sister named Helen Jones. Sister Camille knows Helen Jones. Sister Gina knows Helen Jones. She is one of the greatest freedom fighters of our time. Her son, John Horton, was killed inside Men's Central Jail in 2009. And she's been fighting in his name. She's been fighting for her husband, who recently died in traffic, which could have been prevented had there been safer systems in place, right? Sister Helen Jones, who's one of my inspirations, says, you know, there's two kinds of power. There's money power. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't got no money. You got money? No. No, I ain't got no money. In fact, I can prove it because the police in the case just called my house a shack, right? I don't I don't have no money, right? I got a few dollars and y'all got a few dollars too because we need those dollars, right? But we're not rich. We can't be doling out money the way that Trump's friends do or the way that Biden's friends do, and we don't want to, right? There's money power, but what Sister Helen says is there's also people power. And then she says, I'll take people power over money power every day of the week. Every day of the week. So we all are the people power. So this guerrilla campaign means this. If you got a camera and you can shoot with your camera. If you can shoot with your camera and capture the energy of this campaign, do that. If you have a brilliant idea around Black maternal health, then share it and let's do it. I hope you saw the video. Right.
And they gave it back.
Thank you. Thank you. If you want to help us build out our policy pillar on what healthcare justice looks like, Gina, please help do that, right? If you have ideas, if you're deeply grounded in reparations, Brother Billion, we need you to help us figure out what that looks like, right? So a guerrilla campaign means know what you have to offer and offer it to this movement. This is a piece of a movement. Electoral politics, ain't nobody ever voted themselves into freedom, right?
Yeah.
But it's a tool. It's a tool. The ballot is a tool. It's a tool to say, we will not continue to vote for a lesser of two evils. A lesser of two evils is still evil. We will harness every piece of our power that we have. We will cast our ballots. We will lift our voices. We will raise our fists. We will show up in these streets. We'll fight from here to November, but November is not the end, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we say thank you. I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging in this journey with Dr. West and me. I am so, so honored to be your vice presidential candidate. Thank you. I need to know when are we live? Yeah. Okay. All right. One more time for Dr. Melina Abdullah, the next president. Our vice presidential candidate, and of course Dr. West, our presidential candidate. We are so grateful for everyone who joined the event today. We're live here from Bernie's Coffee Shop in Los Angeles. I know you all are gathered all around the country for this campaign, for this event, and for petitioning going forward for ballot access, for Dr. West and Dr. Abdullah, and for all of us in this people's campaign. So I just want to say thank you. Please reach out. Please email volunteers@cornellwest2024.com to get involved. If you're watching from a watch party, please connect with your host. They have your state-specific calls to action. We are petitioning. People are volunteering. People are gathering. People are motivated. And we need you too. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Abdullah. And thank you to the California team. California team in progressive politics. California leads the way. But we know that we can't do it without a 50-state strategy. So together we rise. Together we go far. And today has been a beautiful celebration. So thank you very much.
Together we win.
Together we win. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
voting
Cornell West.
To be part and parcel of wrestling with this corporate duopoly, this two-party system that impedes, it gets in the way of the unleashing of the kind of policies of abolishing poverty and homelessness, of dealing with working wages, cutting back on militarism, and most importantly, trying to ensure that the best of who we are as a people can be more manifest, can be more concrete, because the crisis is real and these catastrophes are bombarding us. Please come join us.